We are mountain kids. We have spent our entire lives playing in, on, and around our local waters, both frozen and flowing. Gore Creek supplies our valley with clear, cold snowmelt, icicle-laced rocks, play waves, native grasses, and leaping trout. All of the little bridges throughout the town allow for one to forget that the creek was once free. Our powder days come from the water that falls from the sky as snow, but our opening days are only possible through the waters that shoots through the snowmaking guns, drawn from our local rivers and ponds. Our waters have sustained us in ways we hadn't really thought much about before. This is why we all chose to take the senior English class, Rivers and Literature. While many of us might have signed up for this class because it included a 4-day river trip down the San Juan River, we quickly came to the realization that there was a lot more to this class than getting out of school.
I started teaching a class called Rivers and Literature because I knew that the power of words and the power of water are inextricably linked. Through the words of Ed Abbey, Terry Tempest Williams, and David James Duncan, the kids began to see that water wasn't just fun, it was crucial. The river trip showed us how water impacts our lives in the desert Southwest, but it also did so much more. The view from San Juan Hill, the chocolate milk water, the ancient glory of River House, our indigenous guide Brandy, and the camaraderie of spending 4 full days under a desert sun gave us a purpose, a drive, a vision. While this trip might have ended on the 4th day, it would stick with us forever.
As water becomes more scarce in the West, we need to open our eyes to what we can do to save our home waters, and subsequently all the waters that flow through the arid Southwest. Even the smallest actions can make a difference. What we found is that we have a personal relationship with water, and are all responsible for it. We were left wondering, how do we get the water back?
Arizona, Nevada, California, Colorado, Utah, all of us have to do more. The river is in crisis. Lake Powell isn't filling, Lake Mead isn't filling. None of us are doing enough. And all of us are going to be forced to do more.
The headwaters of the Colorado lie at our home, high in the Rocky Mountains. From there, the Colorado River flows downstream, serving tens of millions of people from Denver to San Diego.
Our snowpack high in the Rocky Mountains is decreasing and degrading. We are experiencing less snow later on. An increase in deposits of Utah dirt on Colorado mountains reduces our snowpack.
The people in the industry are no longer calling a drought what we're calling aridification. We've been in what you might call a drought since 2000, 22 years now. The idea of a drought kind of implies that it might end. So people in my world are shifting to the term aridification, that this is a long-term climactic change that we're going to have to deal with.
With low runoff conditions from the mountains onto the Colorado River, downstream releases from the Glen Canyon and Hoover dams will reach critical levels. When Lake Powell drops another 32 feet, the dams will not be able to function. They will not be able to produce the power necessary to support cities, agriculture, drinking water, and energy throughout the entire lower Colorado River basin. This includes LA, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and the Imperial Valley that grows 90% of the world's produce. 32 feet. That's all we have left. We're in the endgame now.
The sun rises over the canyon in the morning, yielding the best view of my 17-year life. I sit in my sleeping bag, appreciating the sheer beauty of the river. It's incredible.
I was present. I was thinking about how the river once covered the land, and then as the water created the canyon throughout time, trees grew and animals thrived. Native Americans carved their stories into rock and lived lives we will never really know. Then, hundreds of years from now, someone else could be sitting in my exact spot, just to be looking upon a whole new world.
Brandy teen Yanishia, Twitchy Nishle, Kini Ani Bashis teen, Nash Edit Kabaha Dashe, although Glislana Dashanella, Nadis on Dan Nasha. So, from my perspective, in the Colorado River Compact, which is, I think it's Article 7, states, nothing in this compact shall be construed as affecting the obligations of the United States of America to Indian tribes. That's it. Lately, I feel like it's just been a check off for the US to just say like, oh, we mentioned them, that's checked off, and that's it. Yeah, it's sending a big message that, wow, like water we're getting less and less of it every day, and I haven't seen the water that low like ever. Wow, what happens when the water is not there, and how long will it take where there's no water at all?
Being on the river and exploring native land let me understand how much of the world is bigger than us.
There are so many different constituents involved in the water crisis that we hadn't even thought about, and we recognized how horrifying it was that our class grew up thinking that these waters belonged to us, to use and abuse. We did not understand the ways our waters flow through other cultures beyond our own. Through Brandy's perspectives and stories about her culture and her family, we learned about a people and a part of our country that is so often unnoticed. At the 100-year anniversary of the Colorado River Compact, our class has come to the realization that we are only a small dot in the Colorado River Plateau. As different straws keep drinking out of our waters, it is crucial to understand where the water comes from, and where it goes in order to cultivate a growing empathy for our neighbors. All of them. Throughout the course of human history, water has been both physically and metaphorically life-giving. Rivers provide the tools that we humans need to survive. We bathe, we drink, we travel, irrigate, and baptize in these waters that flow through our world. Equally as important, rivers also embody those qualities that are somewhat less quantifiable, like joy, enlightenment, and love. As Edward Abbey once wrote, "This is not a travel guide, but an elegy, a memorial. You're holding a tombstone in your hands, a bloody rock. Don't drop it on your foot. Throw it at something big and glassy. What do you have to lose? How will you get the water back?"